Welcome to our deep dive into the reasons behind the TikTok bans around the world. Look, we all knew that endlessly scrolling through videos of teenagers doing the Dougie wasn't going to lead us anywhere good, but government bans, that escalated quickly. From data privacy to national security, we'll explore the key concerns driving these decisions. Think of this as your crash course on why some countries would rather listen to politicians drone on than watch another synchronized dance routine. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say the panda in the App Store: data privacy. It's a phrase that's about as exciting as reading the terms and conditions, but infinitely more important. In today's digital age, our personal data is like gold. Companies are mining it, analyzing it, and using it in ways we might not even realize. Now, TikTok collects user data. This includes everything from the videos you watch to the time you spend on the app. That's not exactly a state secret. It's been widely reported and discussed. Your location, your browsing habits, even what kind of cat videos make you weep with laughter, it's all being collected. Every swipe, every like, every share is a piece of data that TikTok can use to build a profile on you. And that's not inherently bad. Data collection can improve user experience, making the app more intuitive and enjoyable. Plenty of apps do it. Facebook, Instagram, Google, they all collect data to tailor their services to you. But here's the kicker. TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, is Chinese. This adds a layer of complexity to the issue, and China has these things called national security laws, which basically mean the government can ask companies for data, and those companies can't exactly tell them to bugger off. This means that any data collected by ByteDance could potentially be accessed by the Chinese government. So imagine this: you're doing the renegade in your pajamas, blissfully unaware that somewhere, potentially, someone in the Chinese government is being treated to a very underwhelming espionage thriller. The man who liked cat videos and also checked the weather app obsessively. It's a funny thought, but it highlights a serious concern. It's not exactly Jason Bourne, but you get the point. The idea that a foreign government could have access to your personal data is unsettling. Now, TikTok swears blind that they don't share data with the Chinese government. They have repeatedly stated that they store US user data in the US and Singapore, not in China. But even if we take them at their word, the potential for access is there. The mere possibility is enough to raise eyebrows and concerns. And for some governments, that's enough to make them hit the uninstall button on the whole operation. Countries like India have already banned TikTok, citing national security concerns. The debate continues, and as users, we need to stay informed and vigilant about where our data goes and who might have access to it. Let's move on from data and talk about something a little more concrete: national security, because apparently TikTok isn't just a threat to your attention span, it might be a threat to national security as well. Governments are worried that TikTok could be used for, and I'm just spitballing here, espionage. Imagine foreign agents using the app to spread misinformation or identify and target individuals with access to sensitive information. It sounds far-fetched, like something out of a bad spy movie. But in the world of international espionage, you can never be too careful. And then there's the issue of algorithmic manipulation. TikTok's algorithm, that magical force that seems to know you better than your own mother, could theoretically be used to influence public opinion. Want to stir up unrest before an election? Just tweak the algorithm to promote divisive content. Want to make a certain political party look bad? Easy peasy, just bury all the positive news about them under a mountain of cute animal videos. The point is, when you have an app with this much reach and this much power to shape what people see and hear, it's no wonder governments are getting a little bit twitchy. Let's be honest, folks, censorship is about as fun as a root canal. It's invasive, it's painful, and it leaves you feeling like you've lost something important. In the digital age, where information flows freely and creativity knows no bounds, the idea of censorship feels like a relic from a bygone era. Yet, here we are grappling with it in new and insidious ways. No one likes being told what they can and can't say, see, or in the case of TikTok, dance to. It's like being handed a beautifully wrapped gift only to find out that half the contents have been removed. The joy and spontaneity that platforms like TikTok offer are dampened when you realize that not everything is as free and open as it seems. But when it comes to TikTok, censorship is a very real concern. This isn't just about a few videos here and there, it's about the broader implications of what gets suppressed and why. TikTok, with its massive global user base, has the power to shape narratives and influence opinions, and that power comes with significant responsibility. There have been accusations, and let's be clear, these are accusations, that TikTok has censored content that is politically sensitive to the Chinese government. These accusations aren't just coming from random users, they've been echoed by various human rights organizations and watchdog groups. The idea that a social media platform could be used as a tool for political control is deeply unsettling. We're talking about topics like the Hong Kong protests, which were a significant global event. The world watched as people took to the streets to demand their rights and freedoms. The coverage of these protests was widespread, but on TikTok it seemed like a different story. The treatment of the Uyghur population is another critical issue. Reports of human rights abuses and the plight of the Uyghur people have garnered international attention. Yet, content highlighting these issues has mysteriously vanished from TikTok, raising questions about the platform's role in controlling the narrative and anything else that might make the Chinese Communist Party spill their oolong tea. It's not just about the big headline-grabbing issues. It's about the smaller, everyday acts of expression that get caught in the crossfire. When a dance, a meme, or a simple post can be deemed too sensitive, it creates a chilling effect. Now, TikTok denies these accusations, claiming that they are not beholden to any government censorship demands. They assert that their moderation policies are in place to ensure a safe and positive environment for all users. But the lack of transparency in how these policies are applied leaves room for doubt and suspicion. But the fact remains that there have been instances where content critical of the Chinese government has seemingly disappeared from the platform faster than a plate of dumplings at a dim sum brunch. This isn't just anecdotal. There are documented cases of videos and accounts being removed without clear explanations. And that's a problem. When users can't trust that their content will be treated fairly, it undermines the very foundation of the platform. It creates an atmosphere of uncertainty and fear, where people second-guess what they post and whether it will be allowed to stay up. Because when a platform starts censoring content, even if it's just to appease a government, it sets a dangerous precedent. It signals to other governments and entities that such practices are acceptable, potentially leading to a slippery slope of increased control and suppression. It creates an environment where certain voices are silenced and where the diversity of thought and expression is stifled. This goes against the very principles of free speech and open dialogue that social media platforms are supposed to champion, and where people are afraid to speak their minds for fear of being shadow banned into oblivion. The fear of repercussions can lead to self-censorship, where users hold back on sharing their true thoughts and experiences, and that's not exactly the kind of online community that encourages open dialogue and the free exchange of ideas, is it? For a platform to truly thrive, it needs to be a space where all voices can be heard, where creativity is nurtured, and where users feel safe to express themselves without fear of unjust censorship. Let's talk about the kids, because let's face it, they're the ones who actually understand how to use TikTok. They navigate the app with the ease of seasoned pros, effortlessly creating content that garners thousands, if not millions, of views. It's almost like a second language to them, one that they speak fluently while the rest of us are still fumbling with the basics. While we're busy trying to figure out how to apply a filter that doesn't make us look like a sentient potato, they're out there creating viral dance crazes and becoming overnight internet sensations. It's a whole new world of creativity and expression, and it's fascinating to watch. But there's a flip side to this coin. But all this screen time, all this exposure to the perfectly curated lives of influencers, it has to have some kind of impact, right? The constant barrage of idealized images and lifestyles can be overwhelming, especially for impressionable young minds. It's not just about the time spent on the app, but the content they're consuming and the messages they're internalizing. Well, critics certainly think so. They argue that the app's addictive nature and the pressure to conform to certain standards can have detrimental effects on mental health. It's a topic that's gaining more and more attention as the app's popularity continues to soar. They point to concerns about the app's impact on mental health, particularly among young users. The fear is that The constant need for validation through likes and comments can lead to anxiety and depression. It's a vicious cycle that can be hard to break. We're talking about things like anxiety, depression, body image issues, and the constant pressure to amass likes and followers like they're going out of style. The comparison game is strong on TikTok, and it can leave users feeling inadequate and unhappy with their own lives. And then there's the issue of inappropriate content. Despite the app's efforts to filter out harmful material, things still slip through the cracks. It's a concern that many parents and educators share. TikTok has been criticized for not doing enough to prevent kids from being exposed to things like cyberbullying, hate speech, and sexually suggestive material. These are serious issues that can have long-lasting effects on young users. It's like the Wild West out there, folks, and the sheriff is nowhere to be found. The digital landscape is vast and largely unregulated, making it a challenging environment to navigate safely. Now, TikTok argues that they have strict community guidelines in place to protect users and that they're constantly working to improve their safety features. They claim to be committed to creating a safe and positive environment for all users. But the reality is, with an app this big, with this many users, it's like playing whack-a-mole trying to keep up with all the potential problems. The sheer volume of content being uploaded every second makes it nearly impossible to catch everything. It's a daunting task and one that requires constant vigilance and adaptation. So, what's the takeaway here? While TikTok offers a platform for creativity and connection, it's important to be aware of the potential downsides. Encouraging healthy screen time habits and fostering open conversations about online experiences can help mitigate some of these risks. After all, it's all about finding a balance in this digital age. So, there you have it. The reasons behind the TikTok bans are complex, ranging from legitimate concerns about data privacy and national security to more nebulous fears about censorship and the app's impact on young people. Whether these bans are justified or not is a matter of opinion. But one thing's for sure, TikTok has sparked a global conversation about the power of social media, the importance of data privacy, and the role of government in regulating the internet. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Let us know in the comments what you think about the TikTok bans and if you have any other topics you'd like us to cover.